It was a Sunday evening in the bustling port city of Troas. The believers had gathered in an upper room, the third floor of a house, lit by dozens of lamps flickering against the night. This wasn't just an ordinary meeting. The Apostle Paul was there, and he was leaving the next day. Everyone wanted to hear him. Everyone wanted one last word of encouragement, one last teaching from the man who had seen the risen Lord. Paul began to speak. At first, the atmosphere was filled with eagerness. Men and women leaned forward, drinking in every word. He spoke of Christ, of endurance, of the hope that was stronger than persecution. The night grew later, yet Paul continued. Midnight came, but still he taught on. In the window sat a young man named Eutychus. Perhaps the room was hot from the lamps. Perhaps the day had already been long for him. He tried to listen, he wanted to listen, but the heaviness of sleep crept upon him. His head began to nod, his body swayed, and before anyone could reach him, Eutychus slipped and fell 3 stories down to the ground below. A cry filled the room. The meeting broke into chaos. Believers rushed down the stairs. They lifted the young man, but the life had gone from him. He was dead. Imagine the grief in that moment. A night meant for encouragement turned suddenly to tragedy. A family lost their son. A church lost a brother. And yet Paul, filled with the Spirit, came down. He bent over Eutychus, wrapped his arms around him, and declared with confidence, "Do not be alarmed, for his life is in him." And the unthinkable happened. Eutychus breathed again. Life returned. The young man was restored whole, standing among them once more. With awe, the believers carried him back upstairs. Paul, without panic, returned to teaching. They broke bread together, sharing communion, and Paul continued to speak until daybreak. The people left comforted, not just because their brother lived, but because they had seen God's power firsthand. The lesson for us today: Eutychus' story may be short, but it speaks volumes. Beware of spiritual sleep. Just as Eutychus drifted off in the middle of Paul's preaching, many today grow weary in faith. They become drowsy, distracted by the world, and before long they fall. Yet God is merciful. Even when we fall, God has the power to raise us up again. No matter how far we've fallen, from faith, from hope, from grace, Christ can restore faith. Stay alert, stay awake. The Christian life is not passive. It requires endurance, watchfulness, and a heart eager to remain in God's presence. The story ends with these words, "And they brought the young man alive, and they were not a little comforted." In other words, joy replaced sorrow. Out of what looked like tragedy came a testimony of God's power and love. If this story blessed you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more Bible stories that inspire and strengthen faith.